What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a pretty simple video. I just wanted to sit in front of the camera today and talk about some base products that I've been loving. I have some foundations here, some concealers, a primer, all products that I cannot stop using. I have really made it a point over the last month or so to try some new base products because I feel like I've been pretty notorious as of late of just using like the same foundation and concealers over and over and over again. So I really wanted to like get outside of my box, try some new things so that I could recommend them to you guys. And I have really discovered some really awesome products that I'm going to be talking about with you. I also have one foundation that I am going to be talking about that really didn't work out for me. And it's a foundation that a lot of you guys have been asking me about, and I've tested it and it just, no. So I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy today's video. Don't forget to let me know all of your thoughts in the comments as per usual. Let me know some foundations, concealers, powders, primers, any base products that you're currently loving right now. And don't forget to sound off and let me know your thoughts on the products that I'm going to be talking about today. Even if your opinion is different than mine, if you're like, Jamie, I hate that product, I can't believe you like it, let me know why in the comments. I think it's always fun to get a little conversation going. Without further ado, let's begin. Let's first start off with the product that I'm actually wearing on my face right now, and that is the Milk Makeup Sunshine Skin Tint. Now, I initially bought this product not too long ago. I bought it because Alana was raving about it in her full face of milk makeup video that she recently did, and literally as I was watching that video, I ordered this product. And before I go in and start raving about this, I have to first talk about the one part of this product that drives me insane that I absolutely hate about it, and that is the packaging and the way that the foundation actually dispenses, because it is the worst. So it's basically like a giant clicky pen. So there's a button on top and there's a roller ball thing at the bottom, and that's where the foundation dispenses. When I first got this product, I swear you guys, I was clicking that button for 30 minutes and nothing was happening. I was convinced that I got a faulty product. It was so frustrating. I even went on Instagram stories and I was talking about how this was just not working, and a lot of you guys were saying that you have had the same issue and you just need to click it forever the first time you use it. So yeah, that was a little bit ridiculous, but even then I don't really love rolling this thing all over my face. I always feel like it doesn't really disperse like an even amount of product. It's just sort of a pain in the butt, and I wish it was just in a pump. But besides that, the actual formula of this is beautiful. So this is one of those foundations that is like a serum-like formula. So when you actually start to rub it into your skin, it feels very skincare-like. It doesn't actually feel like a foundation, which is the main reason why I really like this. If you are new to my channel, if you don't really know like the types of foundations that I typically go for, I am not really like a full coverage gal. I definitely prefer foundations that are a little bit more lightweight, that are very natural looking, and that are just not heavy on the skin. The thing that's so great about it is that it actually has coverage. A lot of the times foundations that do feel more like skincare are pretty low on like the coverage spectrum. This one, however, actually has probably about like a medium coverage, I would say. It's definitely buildable, but even though it does have that coverage, because it is that really nice lightweight texture, it looks like nothing on the skin. It literally looks like your skin is just, you know, evened out, and it doesn't look like you're wearing a heavy amount of makeup, which is just perfect and so great for every day. I will also say that I actually really like the fact that even though this is sort of like a serum-like consistency, it's not overly oily. This texture is perfect because it's oily enough where it makes your skin feel nice and hydrated, gives that little bit of a glow, but it's not so overly oily that if you have oily skin, you couldn't wear this. As far as application goes, I actually would say that this does apply so much better when you apply it with your fingers. It's so strange because I always feel like products like this, like very lightweight serum-y types of foundations, just don't really apply very well with brushes or sponges because it sort of just soaks up too much product, and I find that it doesn't spread it nicely all over the skin. It looks a little bit blotchy. Your fingers really are the best way to go, and I feel like you're really able to melt it into the skin really nicely that way. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say about it. I have been really enjoying it. Next up, let's talk about the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. Now this is actually pretty similar-ish to the Milk Makeup Sunshine Skin Tint. It's definitely in like the same category. They're not identical, but very comparable products. Now I did actually go on the Sephora website just because I wanted to see how they describe this product, and they said that it is equal parts color correcting and skincare. Very similar to the Milk Makeup Skin Tint, this product feels so much more like a skincare product than an actual foundation. So that just makes it a really comfortable, very like hydrating foundation to wear. For me, what I feel like makes this foundation really special is the fact that it doesn't just, you know, sit really nicely on the skin, but I actually find that it really smooths over my pores. It makes my skin look a lot smoother, and I find that it just gives like the most beautiful, very natural looking, but still very poreless and perfected and airbrushed effect to the skin, which is like the most perfect combination when it comes to foundation. I will say, when I first tried this product, I actually really did not like it. I found that it just did not really blend on my skin very nicely. It was attaching to my dry patches, and I think the reason why that was happening was because I was using a brush and a sponge to apply it. Similar to the Milk Makeup Skin Tint, I feel like fingers are definitely the best method of choice for application. Now, I have been applying this product in a little bit of like a special way that just creates like the most gorgeous effect, and I highly recommend testing it out, not even just with this product, but with like your everyday foundation if you want to sort of add like a boost of hydration to your foundation if you have super dry skin. So I have been like pumping like 2 pumps of the foundation on both of my cheeks, and then I will go in with a face oil. I've been using my Laneige dual layer face oil. I take the face oil, I put a few drops in the palm of my hands, I rub it together, and then I use my oily hands to rub and blend out the foundation, and it just like sort of adds that little extra boost of radiance and hydration to this product. And I don't know why, but the combination of the two is just perfection. Now, the reason why I don't mix the two together right off the bat is I actually find that it doesn't mix very well. It sort of separates a little bit, but when I go in and just massage it with my oily fingers, it works perfectly fine, and it just makes the skin look so incredible. I will say also that it lasts so well on the face. It does fade a little bit throughout the day because it's not like a super matte or long wearing foundation, but it fades very evenly, fades very naturally, and it's very flattering. So all in all, this is a really awesome product, and I quite enjoy it. So next up, let's talk about the Revlon Candid Foundation. I've been talking about this so much on my channel. I initially bought this because Katie Jane Hughes would not stop talking about it on her Instagram. If you don't know who Katie is, I've been talking about her so much, so I don't even know how you would know who she is at this point, but she's pretty much, well, she's a professional makeup artist first and foremost. Whatever like skincare products she recommends, whatever foundation products, whatever base products she recommends, I'm always like all over because she just makes them look so good. So you may or may not know that I have been for quite a long time a really big fan of the IT Cosmetics CC cream. I really love that product because it's very natural looking, but it has like amazing coverage. It's probably like a medium to full coverage, but it's marketed as like a CC cream tinted moisturizer, so it's still very lightweight on the skin. So just the combination of those 3 aspects really make just like the perfect foundation, and this is probably like the closest dupe that I have found to the IT Cosmetics CC cream at the drugstore. And this has by far become one of my new favorite foundations, not just foundations from the drugstore, but just foundations like in general, because it just looks so incredible on the skin. It really does give you a really nice medium to full coverage. This is not really like a light coverage product, but it still has the most amazing like natural radiant finish to it. And it's one of those foundations that sort of sits right in the middle. It's not too dewy, it's not too matte. So what's really nice about that is that a lot of different skin types are gonna be able to wear it, and you're also able to manipulate it depending on your skin concerns, depending on the day. So you can make it more dewy by just applying like a dewier primer underneath, or you can make it more matte by applying a mattifying primer or a pore filling primer, and this foundation will be able to go like either way. So it is really versatile. So I think a lot of people would really like this. My favorite way to apply this, by the way, in case you're wondering, is applying a very small amount and sort of just like feathering it into my skin with a foundation brush. It also works really nicely with a sponge, but I don't know, a really loose foundation brush just makes this product look so nice and airbrushed, and you really don't need a lot. You need such a small amount, and I would just build it up where needed, and you're gonna be left with a really nice natural looking result. All right, next up, this is another one of my favorite everyday foundations. This is the Clinique Even Better Makeup. I feel like I've really exhausted a lot of the foundation like adjectives. Now, compared to the other foundations that I spoke about, this is sort of like right in the middle. It's not quite as serum-like and skincare-like as the Milk one or the Ilia one, but it's also not as heavy as the Revlon foundation. It's right in the middle. It's still a very lightweight formula. It has some really nice coverage. I would say it's like a solid medium coverage. It's one of those like everyday products that I know is gonna look great throughout the day no matter what. They also have the Clinique Even Better Glow version. I'm really dying to try the one. I feel like I would probably really enjoy it. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say about it. It's an awesome product. Okay, we're done talking about all the foundations that I love. So now let's talk about the one foundation that I've been trying recently that I really just wasn't a huge fan of. And I feel like I'm disappointing a lot of people here because so many of you guys were messaging me about this, really excited about it. And I was so excited about it too. But for some reason, it just really didn't work on my skin, which surprises me a lot. So it's the KOSAS Tinted Face Oil, and this is the foundation that I feel like a lot of people are talking about. It's pretty much like an oil with pigmentation. There's a lot of different types of oils in here. It's a very, very oily product. Like when I first swatched this on my hand, I was shocked by the consistency of it because it's so incredibly oily. When you blend it out, it makes the skin look so dewy and hydrated and just delicious, and that got me so excited because this product in theory is just so up my alley. When I first applied it, it looked really nice on my skin. It looked very hydrating. It, you know, got rid of my redness. It didn't look heavy. I was enjoying it. But I haven't had a foundation break up as bad as this foundation did on my skin. And I wore it, I think about 3 times, and it did that every single time. So it would look really good for the first few hours, and then I would look in the mirror, and on certain areas of my face, the foundation just like completely broke apart, and it's like it wasn't even there. So it made my skin look really weird and dry and looked very uneven because it was breaking apart. And I don't really know why it did that. I sort of have a feeling because there's so many oils in here, it may have reacted to maybe other products on my face, you know, like how oil and water separate. Maybe there were like water-based products that I used that this foundation just didn't really agree with. So I don't know, it didn't really work for me. I feel like I am still going to try and make this work because I'm a determined person, but for now, it's just not my favorite, and I can't give it the Jamie stamp of approval. So that's it for some of the foundations that I've been currently loving. Now let's talk about some concealers. For a while, I mean, I still do, but there was a point in time where I was really more drawn towards more lightweight, low coverage concealers. I still like those on certain days, but lately I have been enjoying my more full coverage concealers because I've been needing it. My under eyes have not been looking super like well rested. So I have been on the hunt for some concealers that give me that coverage, but that don't feel or look heavy underneath the eyes. And there's so many great ones out there, but this is a new one from Makeup Forever that I have been really, really enjoying. It says it in the name of the concealer, but this is a self-setting product. And what that means is that you don't have to use powder to set it underneath your eyes. And as somebody with dry skin, I hate powder. I've said it 1,000 times. So whenever I find a concealer that I don't actually have to set, it is just, it's the best. So I don't feel like I have to set it down to make it last because it really does last really well on its own. It's also a nice full coverage concealer, like I said, but it's not a super thick formula. If I were to use like Shape Tape as a comparison, this isn't as thick as the Shape Tape, but it has like the same amount of coverage. So it's a really awesome product. I've been really enjoying it, and that's all I gotta say about it. Next up, I have been really enjoying the JOUER Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. This is supposed to be creaseless, it's a soft matte finish, and has hyaluronic acid. So this is supposed to be really good for dry skin with that hyaluronic acid, and it is also supposed to be creaseless, which I actually find that it is. Again, I don't really feel like I have to use powder to set this product. This is definitely a bit of like a thicker and more full coverage product compared to the Makeup Forever concealer. I really only like to wear this when I am going for a little bit more of like a full coverage look because it is like pretty full on. But what I love so much about this concealer is the fact that it makes my under eyes look so smooth. It makes them look just perfect, like doll-like. And there's really very few concealers that have this high of coverage that doesn't make my under eyes look dry and crepey and just very heavy. And this just like does it. And I basically just really love how flawless this makes my under eyes look and how smooth it makes them look. Okay, the last concealer that I want to talk about is the Cover FX Power Play Concealer. First of all, the shade range for this is awesome. They have so many different types of shades, ranging from warm shades, neutral shades, cool tone shades, light to dark. So right off the bat, you're definitely gonna be able to find a shade that works for you in this lineup, which is really awesome. Secondly, the way that this wears underneath the eyes is beautiful. This is another concealer that I don't really feel like I have to powder for it to last, which is so great. I also love the finish of this. It has a really nice, like naturally radiant type of formula. It's not overly matte like the JOUER concealer. This doesn't give my under eyes like a glowy finish. It's definitely more on like the soft matte side. This one, however, I feel like is a little bit more natural looking in that sense. It's not completely matte, which I really like for my more like natural days, but when I still want that coverage, you know what I mean? This works really, really well. If I had to rank these as far as like coverage goes, I would say the Makeup Forever is the lightest one of the three, and then the Power Play, and then the JOUER is definitely the highest coverage. Okay, the very last base product that I want to talk about today is a primer, and this is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This has been around for a really long time, and to be honest with you, like I thought that this was just a glorified moisturizer, and maybe it is. Maybe it is just a glorified moisturizer. So it feels like a normal moisturizer when you first like pick it up, but when you start to massage it into your skin, you can tell that it has sort of like this smoothing texture to it. Not only does it like actually moisturize your skin, but it also provides like a nice smooth layer on your face as well. Like it feels really nice and velvety. It's the best way to describe it. So because it does have that like smoothing consistency to it, it's just that step above a normal moisturizer. So I would say that if you are looking for a primer that's pretty universal that you can use underneath any and all foundations, I would say that this is a pretty nice one to try. So guys, that finishes off today's video. Those are all of my current favorite base products. I hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Don't forget to let me know all of your thoughts down below as per usual, and of course give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to join the fam, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.